Good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, I have to apologize. Not because I haven't been making videos in months, but because I left the Toastmasters video series hanging. Yes, everyone, I'm actually not finished with these Toastmasters videos. I have maybe 4 or so more. I've been terribly busy these past few months because, I've started a business. If everything financially, entrepreneurially goes well, I do want to make a video talking about that towards the end of the year. But for right now, let's finish this project. Let's finish the Toastmasters video series. In the past couple of videos, if I remember correctly, because it's been months, we were talking about things like adding value to yourself as a person, adding value to the things you think, say, and do, and channeling that in how you present yourself and how you say what you have to say to make people want to listen to you. With that background info in mind, let's get to the nitty-gritty. How do you best structure a speech? Well, before you even think about writing a speech, you must do so, whether it's pen on paper, fingers on keyboard, you must do so with the intention that you will eventually stop relying on the paper. It's perfectly okay for a beginner Toastmaster, beginner orator to give their first speeches with the paper in hand, provided that you glance up at the audience occasionally, make eye contact, use your hands, your available hands with gestures. But you're gonna notice that advanced speakers, say politicians, philanthropists, they give their speeches speaking from the heart. If they memorize anything at all, they memorize how they start the speech, a few key facts, they memorize the general outline to segue from each point to each point to each point from the speech, and maybe they memorize how they finish the speech. We'll get to a little bit more of that later on in the video. That would be my first suggestion. Write with the idea that you will one day not rely on that paper. Make sense? Before we get into intro, body, conclusion, let's talk about one thing. If there is one takeaway that you're going to get from this video, focus on your why. Your why being the reason why you are giving that speech. Are you there to inform? Are you there to persuade? Are you there to entertain? That should be made clear from the get-go, from your intro. Everything that comes out of your mouth for the next few minutes that you're on the podium or when everyone's attention is towards you should be reflective of that purpose. Stick to it. Everything that you say must support it in some way, whether you're there to inform, entertain, persuade. Now, before we delve into intro, body, conclusion, I want to talk a little bit about grammar and rhetoric. How do they come into play when it comes to writing a speech? Grammar. It's preferable that you stick to traditional grammar rules. However, don't be overtly strict about it. What do I mean by that? An occasional slippage of grammar, especially one that's done purposefully, can come off as authentic. As for rhetoric, I would encourage y'all to be familiar with the rhetorical devices out there, metaphors, similes, anaphoras, rhymes. Rhymes are very good. Alliteration sometimes, assonance is good. Hyperbole, if you really want to exaggerate something tactfully, but you also don't want to be overtly reliant on them. Don't use them every other sentence. Jeez. That looks so tacky. How do you intro a speech? How do you start it off? You generally want to start your intro with a hook. Only if you have to start it off with hello, good morning, good evening. If you do, I mean, you're gonna be like everyone else. No, just start it off. You're there on the stage, start talking with a hook, with a question, a quote, a joke. There's many ways to start a speech, but it has to perk everyone's ears such that when they listen to you, they think, oh, this person's gonna say something. Better listen to them. And again, in the intro, this is where you specify your purpose. The main reason as to why the listener should listen to you. Then the body follows it, where everything within it should somehow, some way support your purpose. Let's talk about the body. You want to have a decent ratio of opinions versus facts. The facts should come before the opinions, I think. And if you are going to memorize anything at all in the speech, memorize your facts, especially if they contain things like numbers, facts, and cite your sources. It pisses me off when someone rattles off fancy numbers and verbiage and jargon, and they don't say where they got the information. You're not Wikipedia. You're not Google. You're not God. Say that you got it from the Pew Research Center. Say that you got it from Wikipedia. Say that you got it from your grandmother's anecdote. It actually makes you look smarter if you cite your sources. Now, once you do mention your facts, your opinions should come off of that. This is a good opportunity for you to reveal your authenticity, your humor, your wit, your perspective, your heart. People don't want to listen to facts. They can look that up on their smartphones if they want. No. They want to listen to you. And finally, the conclusion. How to end a speech. For the love of God, never, ever, ever end a speech with, and that's all. That's it. No! If you do, I will disown you. A rather reliable way to end a speech is to somehow connect it back to your intro. If you asked a question in the intro, how about you ask that question again, but you answer it based on the context of the body of the speech. Yeah, somehow find a way to come back full circle is a popular way to end a good speech. In any case, you really want to end it such that you leave the audience thinking. And that only do this if you really, really, really have to. This is my hot take. Try not to end a speech with thank you. It comes off as amateur to me. They should be thanking you. The ending should speak for itself, just like how the intro speaks for itself. Say the last sentence in your speech, you have a dramatic pause, they should start clapping. If there's a master of ceremonies involved, you say, Madam Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Master of Ceremonies, and you extend your hand to them, they should applaud for you. Or perhaps you finish your speech and then, if appropriate, you say, I will now open the floor to questions. They may or may not applaud for you because you're not yet finished. But never end a speech with thank you, in my opinion. Those are the fundamentals of writing and structuring a speech. As for each individual sentence, don't worry about it. Just play it by ear, right from the heart. Speak from the heart, and you'll be good to go. Use humor, use wit, use your insight, your opinions, your perspectives. Be authentic, and people will listen to you. People are so fed up of posers. People value authenticity. People will value you. Have a good day. Take care. Speak well. And kick ass.